we can adjust the volume on if anybody wants to turn it up or down or
Check.
Check. No. It's going to be like that tonight, is it?
Wild card.
Screaming in your ear.
Yeah.
Perfect. Keep us on our
Is
toes.
that how you're going to introduce yourself? I'm Jamie the Wild Card. Maybe I don't know if I'm prepared to do that, but for random episodes, it'd be funny if we all came up with
Call signs.
Yeah, I'll be Andrew I'm Andrew the
Sea
Destroyer.
Shields over here.
Yeah, Andrew the Destroyer, Sea Shields, Jamie the Wild Card. Yeah.
I don't know what I am. My old coworkers called me McCrae.
There we go.
Becca's bee sneezy.
I
Because
love
she bee sneezing.
So good.
Andrew, Bean Potters, what's up? Are you guys in the shower? Nobody picked up. Are you in the shower? Well, hello? Nobody. All right. Well, hey, I'm having a little like backyard bonfire at my mom's place this weekend on Friday. I know you guys are busy with your pod and all, but you're always welcome to bring it over here. We got hot dogs and cheese dogs and chili dogs and regular dogs. So you can't eat those. Those are my mom's dogs. I really like them. But, ma'am, I got some more D-Rake action to get off my chest. I've been listening to that Tool's new album, and I got some things to say. So I don't know if nobody wants to hear that, obviously, but I need to get off my chest. It's got to happen somehow. So it's either on the pod or I'm going to get you in the corner next time for way longer than the pod will be and tell you all about how awesome it's not. Okay, buddy. We'll talk to you. Peace.
All right. We're back for another episode. We're over at Jake's basement. And this episode, we figured it'd been a while since we did a random episode, so we thought we'd just hang out and see what come up.
Yeah.
So before
Jake's mom's basement.
Jake's mom's. Thank you. Yeah.
We got the invite from Jake though.
Yeah. He's
His mom called me, actually.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm Andrew the Destroyer.
I'm Sea Dog Corey Shields.
Jamie the Wild Card.
I'm McCrae or Michaela.
All right, we're going to start this random episode out with some stories from the field. So who's got a story? Anybody got a good story from the field?
Yeah.
All right. Hit us, wild card.
So earlier in the week, I was doing a fur removal. It's a decent sized fur. I can't even, maybe 100-foot fur, DBH, 40 maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember. It's kind of in a blur, but it's on a steep hill, so there's a steep street, and then the tree is on a steep slope, like an ivy covered steep slope, that goes right to the street.
Yeah.
Might have been a city tree.
It wasn't. Probably was.
So I'm doing the removal.
Yeah, they don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah. I'm switching back and forth between speed line and lowering. It was cool. Had, a bunch of people on the ground, and we were just going as fast as we could. Everything was working really smooth. Nice. Take the top out. Dakota, our buddy Dakota, was with us on the job and ran the top. Super smooth as always. And then it's time to chunk wood. And I was like, I think if I flip logs, I can get them to land flat and kind of stay. We built a little barrier with some wooden stakes and some plywood.
Hell yeah.
At the bottom of the little hill.
Hell yeah.
And I flipped one log. Perfect. Worked awesome. So I was like, okay, we're going to chunk this tree down pretty quick. Flipped another one. Went well. Flipped another one. Went well. And I'm chunking probably 5-foot logs, maybe. Just snap cut, pushing them over. And then the fourth one comes out of the tree, hits, lands just perfectly flat, and then bounces probably like 6 feet in the air because it cleared the little barricade we made.
Wow.
Like it just felt like slow motion, just hit, just boom. And then just like time slowed and it cleared this barrier.
Nice.
And I should say, you know, before I started chunking, I made sure everyone had all eyes on what was going on.
Yeah.
Like people were like cutting and I'm like, hey, stop. Like everyone look up, you know, this is kind of a test piece here. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, but yeah, just all eyes on the road and on me and what's going on. So we you know, we kept doing that for every piece, but that piece bounced over the barrier and into the street. Yeah, and Dakota and Justin, I think Justin is a new hire with the company, and he was able to stop it, you know, and that's a weird situation, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't be a hero, but also like,
But
Maybe,
if you can't
maybe
stop
if
it,
you
maybe
can.
do it.
Yeah. So I think it like just hit, bounced a little bit, and a couple rolls, and they were able to stop it.
Yeah.
Oof. So then we switched to negative rigging. But it was so weird because they were all just like landing and not moving anywhere.
And
Was
that-
it
and
a
that one-
root or a rock, or do you know what made it jump?
So I think we realized there's like an old brick retaining wall underneath everything.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
brick bounces.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the hard thing about when you're doing, you never know what's under the ground. And you know, I mean, it's a tree, so there's probably roots. If you got a big root right where you drop it,
Yeah.
that'll send it flying too. You know, it's always kind of a gamble.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were talking about how to like mitigate that and how to figure it out. I mean, usually it's important to know what's underground when you're chunking wood.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to damage anything, but that's another factor. You don't want the piece to go flying when you don't want it to.
Yeah.
And there's also times when you just have to chunk it down. You don't have the space to negative rig it, so you kind of have to do that.
It's faster.
It's a lot faster too.
If you can do it.
Yeah, and usually it can be a lot safer too, I think.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah,
Depends.
depending on the
Yeah.
situation.
If you're in control enough to know how it's gonna hit, like if you can get it to hit one end first and then lay down, you know, different stuff depends on what you're We were doing some removals of some Ilanthus, 2-3 weeks ago,
Gorgeous trees, just top.
yeah.
Beautiful.
And
A tree of heaven.
yeah, tree of heaven, and we were dropping the wood in the street, man, and it was flying. It was like, I don't know if it was like how elastic the wood was or what was going on with it, but you know, from the very first piece, it became very clear, like, all right, you want it to land exactly like you want it to land, you know, and so you'd want, because if you hit the butt first, that part's going to start reacting first, so it'll usually kind of bounce away from that butt. So, you know, you can kind of guide it a little bit, but you better be on point because, you know, it's hard to get everyone to be 100% exact. And in that situation, if it wasn't exact, it would, or if it was like, you know, a banana shaped chunk of wood,
Which all of them were.
yeah, and it didn't land right, that thing would jump. And I mean, I wasn't on the ground for that first removal. I was up in the bucket.
Yeah, the new guy was like,
Yeah.
it was like, what's next first day?
Yeah, Nick's first day of tree work.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was.
Yeah.
Is that seasonal with you guys?
A rotation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was awesome.
He was great.
I don't know if we told him about the podcast. Who knows if he listens? But shout out to Nick, man. He's
Yeah, Nick
smart
rocks.
dude,
Yep.
and he
Yep.
he plugged right in. But
He ever wants a career in tree work, we'll give it to him.
yeah, that day though, we were even like, dude, don't even worry about plugging in. Like, plug in when you feel 100% safe to plug in, but just back up, watch the workflow, figure out how we do this, because you know it was a kind of crazy day.
It's interesting what you said about kind of getting, when you're flipping logs out, getting like the tip to hit just a little bit first. Is that kind of what you were saying? Because usually my goal is to like flat and it just stops.
Mm.
Yeah, it just stops. But when it landed flat, it would jump even more. It was weird.
Yeah, so that when I flipped out those few logs, they weren't perfectly flat. It was just like a little bit on the tip. And
Yeah.
those ones were staying. And then the one I was like,
Yeah,
perfectly flat is the one that just boom,
jumped and went crazy. Yeah,
way up.
And it must
Yeah.
have landed like right on the brick, so that's what
Yeah.
caused it too.
Yeah.
Versus those other ones that absorbed some of that impact, like maybe under the ground or
Yeah.
something.
That's wild.
yeah.
That's
I
nuts.
was thinking about it when we were doing that, because at the first few I was just trying to lay them flat, and from the boom it looked like they were jumping like 6 feet in the air. You know, a few of them looked like they were getting pretty wild.
From the ground, it looked like they were jumping 20 feet in the air. So
Yeah. Well, there was a couple that were traveling 20 feet for sure.
It was pretty crazy.
But yeah, that's nuts. And yeah, the brick wall under the ground, man, you never know.
Yeah, because you're usually asking like, what's underneath here? You know, septic system, drain field, utilities, like whatever.
Yeah,
You know.
I guess brick wall is going to have to be part of that question process now.
Yeah. Bring out your soil probe before you're chunking wood down.
At any point, was there a retaining wall anywhere around the base of the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time with like snap cutting and getting them to actually go when there's no other weight on the tree? Or you just you keep the distance between the snaps small enough that you can manage them pretty well?
I've done it enough. But I mean, when I first started, you would cut your snap cut and then you'd go and it like wouldn't move.
There's no weight
and
to pull it over.
Pull this out again and do it again and
Yeah.
do it. But it's just through repetition, you know. It still happens occasionally, but yeah, through repetition, kind of got it dialed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hot dogs you guys want?
Oh shit, Jake's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many you got?
Double dog?
Yeah, I'll take 2.
You got any chili dogs?
Yeah, we got chili dogs, cheese dogs,
Oh,
cheddar or provolone.
I'll take the provolone. Yeah.
Yeah. Chili with cheese, please.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
At least a dozen. Get at least a dozen going, Mom.
Yeah, Jake's hanging out watching. He'll probably come on later. You were saying that you had some words for D-Rake.
Oh, yeah, don't get me started, man.
All right, we'll save that for later. It's
I have
okay.
a question for you, though, Andrew. I got asked this at an interview the other day for a new contract breaking job. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
A hot dog's a hot dog.
But let's think about it. Is it a sandwich?
Knee-jerk reaction.
No, it's its own thing in my mind. Yeah,
You think so?
you know, there's not two pieces. Now, okay, maybe if it's a sloppy hot dog job and they rip the bun, then maybe it could become a sandwich.
Oh, so you're saying the bun connected? The bun is connected, then
It's more.
no longer a sandwich.
In some ways, it's more a taco.
But then you have some of those hoagie rolls that they put.
Okay, it's not a taco, but
Yeah.
They put the lunch meat in, and those are still they're closed on one side. They're open on.
Yeah, would like a Philly be like, you know,
Yeah, is that
a roll sliced where the bread is still connected?
you know,
I agree that it's not, but
Yeah,
it's it's
No,
a head scratcher.
it's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. It's I would have to say I'm still going with a hot dog as a hot dog.
Hard to argue with that.
Because I've never heard it called a hot dog sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, you just did because you called it that.
Well,
I'm gonna start calling it that.
He also says sandwich, so he might not be the guy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're asking the wrong guy here.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Mom, they said they want the hot dog hoagies now.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one story.
So what do you think, Jake?
About what?
Is it a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog.
Okay,
Whatever
all right.
you say is bond.
All right. Works for me. It's a hot conversation over.
So it turns out I didn't get the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, they didn't know what they had in front of them.
Well, I was listening to Patrick's podcast last week when he interviewed Patrick, the educated climber, and he said to become unemployable. I really like that, so I took that to heart.
Yeah.
To become unemployable. You want this? I know you're busy
Yeah.
rounding up those hot dogs.
Catering is not an easy job.
So, how's work going? You're looking for new work. So, was that a contracting job, or are you looking to settle down in a long-term raking gig?
Oh, I just go day by day, Andrew. Thanks for having me here. This is pretty cool.
Dude, thanks for having us here. This is our highlight when we get to come hang out with you.
I wish you guys could move in, but I know as tree people, you don't make enough money for rent. My mom only hires like electricians and people who actually make a lot of money an hour, so they could help with the rent and the mortgage and stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd want to have you guys over all the time.
that's a good move.
He's like, I gotta feed them, and they're just like dirty and smelly. So
we
Right.
are. Very
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
so.
We're not worth the amount of hot dogs you go through.
but yeah, I'll take whatever I can get as long as the crew's cool and my services are taken seriously. There's a lot of people who don't care about good cleanup job.
Yeah,
And just leave the job site dirty, or they, it's okay to blow everything into the woods. That's what the woods wants. But
The
leave.
clients don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you doing a lot of education this time of year of like trying to convince people to keep leaves in their yard, or are you like bagging them all up in trash bags?
Oh wow, Michaela, cool. Yeah, the idea of leaving the leaves is really hard to get across to people in these really sterile neighborhoods sometimes. So I think, you arborists do a great job of breaking down all the biology of it all, and I just I'm not good with people, so I refer to you guys. Like, you should talk to Michaela, you should talk to Andrew and Corey and Jamie, and like they'll tell you how it breaks down and amends the soil or what have you.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Is that what I just copy whatever you
No,
guys said.
that's 100% correct.
And then what else does it do? It keeps leaves down, it keeps weeds down if you leave the leaves. What else?
Yeah, it breaks down. It becomes, like you said, nutrition for the soil. It
Gives some good habitat for little critters to run around, and then birds and other wildlife to get at.
feed the worms.
Feed the
Oh,
worms.
Makes a mess.
Yeah, that. Damn it, the mess.
Stains the driveway and the patio.
It's unsightly because you've got all
Clogs
these
the
piles of leaves.
gutters.
Slippery.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the wild card.
Well, it's working. Yeah,
But
no.
yeah, like what's been really working for me to kind of convince these really uptight folk in these fancy neighborhoods that you guys work in is to kind of make a little ring, a ring around the tree, and make like all the leaves around the tree, and the tree is usually not in the driveway. So we just pile everything around it, and sometimes it gets pretty deep. Like, that's fine. Just whatever we could do to like keep my mom's Taurus clean. If I could leave all these leaves here, that's the best. 'Cause she's been getting pissed at me lately. I try to clean it out the best I can. This time of year, it's pretty soggy around here. I'm used to being in Colorado where it's a little more arid and dry, and we just have needles that are crispy and stuff, and they would blow right out, or I could just scrape them out and like rake the Taurus, and
Yeah.
different. Obviously, you guys know my rake quiver, so we have a different rake for each occasion. Like, sometimes we can clean out all the rugs in the Taurus quite well, and then I have all the plastic I put down and back. It's just a excellent rig for rake carrying, it carries the rakes on top and then the leaves in the back trunk. We could put a full day's work in there, but where I forget where I was going with this. Oh yeah, so we're trying to leave the leaves so I don't have to carry them around off the job site, and whatever we can do to convince the customer that. And you guys do a great job. Oh, tree health this, tree health that. Like, let's get on Jake's mom's good side here.
I was talking to a client the other day, and they were looking for someone to like clean the leaves off their roof and clean up the gutters and stuff like that. Is that something you mess around with, or are you?
I don't go off the ground.
Purely ground level raking going on here.
I mean, you can do what you want up there, but I am part of groundwork.
Yeah.
I don't want below groundwork. I want on the groundwork.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. A lot of times I'll clean out the gutters with a blower when I'm cleaning off the roof anyways. And I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about using a blower. I mean, that.
Oh, well, that's funny you say that. You guys did you do stories of the week yet? I kind of came
We're
in.
just
We're kind of in the middle.
we're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
getting
What
started.
story you got?
So I was working with modern art the other day, and with Jamie, and he starts blowing out these gutters at the beginning of the job because he's fearing that they're filled up with needles. And we took some pictures. There's some previous dents. These people just moved in, and so he's like up there taking pictures of these gutters. There's like 4 different dents in it, and he's like, "Okay, just so you know, we didn't do this. We're about to start. Here's what it looked like before. We don't want to buy you new gutters." And so he blows all the old needles out. It's like filled up, and they just moved in. They hadn't done any maintenance yet, cleaned their gutters out. These things are filled up with water, just worried about one branch hitting it. And so he cleans all these gutters out underneath the tree we're working on just to minimize the amount of risk of these gutters ripping off and having his insurance pay for new gutters for these people. They would have been like, score, sweet. Anyway, so he blows these gutters. I don't know when the last time they cleaned these gutters out, but it's like up like 3 stories high or something. The roof is pretty flat, so he's up there blowing away, and we're like, okay. And all of a sudden, this freaking stink comes by, and it's like this old nasty swamp. It smells like an old stinky sock in a swamp that's been sitting there, and it was the worst. And so it stunk like what hours, Jamie?
Yeah.
And then Jamie went up in the tree after that, and it kind of wafted up there. Did you catch some of that?
Did it get on you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was on me, but I was also like rubbing all over a fir tree, which kind of helped mask it.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially like a fresh cut on a fir. It was definitely
Rub some of that
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is good.
it's like much needed break from the stench.
Yeah.
Oh, and you had the new guy too burn a bunch of incense at the bottom.
Yeah.
That always helps.
What was going on in that gutter?
Old decomposition.
Yeah, compost.
But it was not soaking into the soil of the tree like it should have been. It was sitting in metal.
Do you remember when you and I were working together in that big, beautiful white oak that we were pruning, and you were doing some raking on the roof, and there was some pipes on the roof, and we realized that it was like the exhaust of the bathroom. Because the old guy
That
must
was the first time I got off the ground. The last time.
Yeah. I had to coax you up the ladder.
He was like the kid that came out of that house. It was just like, whoop, nothing to see, and like he acted like he didn't do anything. Like, we know what you did.
Yeah.
There's no hiding that crime.
There was a crime committed.
But I learned something about plumbing that day too. I guess it goes right out this top.
Yeah.
Well,
There's such thing as a fart fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
boy.
Yeah, I was in the tree. I think you asked if I smelled it when I was in the tree, and
It was like a
said
perfect day.
no.
It was like a perfect day.
But then I got on the
Then
roof.
it hit, like punched us. Like, you know what it was more like? It was like when Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. It was more than a punch. It was like a bite and a tear.
A shock.
Into our olfactory.
Blood everywhere.
It was bad.
Yeah.
We worked past it though.
Yeah, we did.
I think there were some cookies involved.
Yeah, the client gave us some cookies,
Sent
which definitely
some
helped.
cookies up to the
Oh,
to Jamie in
yeah.
the tree.
Cleanse the palate.
You can smooth a lot over with some homemade cookies.
Oh, and Corey would be stoked too. Some major Captain's Hook was used.
Oh,
on
yeah.
that
Love
250-year-old tree estimated.
Yeah.
Old Oregon white oak.
Over 2 backyards, 2 houses.
Nice.
Awesome tree. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw was Beck on that job?
Yep.
I may have seen the Instagram post of just this beautiful white oak. Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah. No, my
real
goodness.
chonger.
Yeah.
Great day except for the smell.
Yeah, I'm glad Instagram doesn't have that feature.
Smell-o-vision just never took off.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, you know, it says like tap for sound. On the
Yeah.
video. It says scratch for smell.
Just wait for the metaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming.
Zuckerberg's pushing for that one.
No, they have to smell it.
It's like, you can smell my smoked meats. Someone will get that one.
Sweet baby Jamie's.
Yeah, sweet baby Ray's.
Oh man. Well, anybody else have any stories from the field?
Man, we got a few, right, Justin? What was it? What was another one?
Oh, let's get Justin on here.
Yeah. Do you want to come hang out?
That cat looks pretty comfy on his lap, honestly.
Crazy.
So-
He's
Made the
fine.
cat
She-
angry.
Justin's brand new to tree work, but he's been, a rock climber for a while.
Still learning.
Still learning.
Hello, I'm Justin.
Always learning.
Yeah. Nice. What's your call sign? We're all doing call signs tonight.
Call sign.
Jamie's the wild card.
I'm
Obviously.
Chalky Beats.
Chalky Beats.
Chalky Beats.
Chalky Beats.
Nice.
You got some dusty old
DJ
beats.
Chalky
Oh.
So how long have you been with Green Tree now?
Just over almost a month.
A month. Okay. So long enough to start getting into the flow of things and
Yeah, I feel like I'm useful
yeah,
at
perfect.
this point.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And is this your first tree job?
Yes,
Nice.
it is.
Nice. What do you think so far?
I love it.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so many arts involved.
Oh, 100%.
I'm definitely enjoying all aspects of it.
Nice. Nice. Well, welcome to the crew.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We ruined his life. Another one.
But misery loves company, so welcome.
Indeed.
Yeah. And Michaela, you've been at the city now for a
1
month.
month.
1
yes.
month. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Time flies.
Yeah, time does fly.
Does it feel like just yesterday?
Yeah.
Well,
It was just yesterday we were throwing chunks of Ilanthus out of the
Yeah,
tree.
yeah.
Was that your first job?
No, I don't think so. I think it was close to the
Okay.
one of the first ones, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, it happens fast.
All these guys throwing stuff at the new people.
It's terrifying.
It's part
Kind
of
of the way it works.
It's the initiation process. It's just,
Yeah, I throw
Yeah, how
stuff
do we
at
handle-
Corey too, though. So if
Yeah, that-
it makes you feel any better.
Yeah, that's
He's used to it.
that's a
Yeah.
constant thing.
Yeah. Right on. What's your first take of tree work? Well, let me ask, what did you do before tree work?
A variety of things.
Nice.
I studied engineering, and I loved learning all of the things that go into that kind of field.
Yeah.
All the technical stuff, meeting all the people who've been studying in their labs for 30 years and learning all kinds of fascinating things.
Yeah.
And then I left that line of work for more creative pursuits and to be outdoors more and to teach a lot.
Sweet.
So now I'm tutoring and doing tree work.
Nice.
Nice.
Tutoring math and science and doing tree work.
It's interesting because there is a lot of engineering that happens in tree work
There's a whole lot.
and a lot of physics. You know, people don't think about that. I worked with a science teacher for years. He'd
Mhm.
come in the summers when school was out, and he was always just pointing out everything. He's like, "Yep, this is this equation that you're doing," and I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just sending this down," you know. But when you stop and think about it, you know, so for someone I can imagine who's got that in their head, you
Mhm.
know, that loves that. This is like the hands-on version of it,
Physics
you
is
know.
my thing.
Yeah, we might not be crunching the numbers and writing it out on paper, but if you like the way it works,
You can get
This-
the feel for it.
yeah, this is a great industry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is cool because I have like an understanding of vectors and I try to build rigging systems, put like the least amount of stress or try to get the forces to go into the stem wood. And I'm like showing Justin this stuff, but I know
Describing
he
it
like
to me today.
totally gets it, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
instantly. I'm like, this
Right.
is why I'm doing this. He's like, oh yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
We did like a fishing pole redirect with my climbing system and the rigging today. We were doing a sketchy like burnt big leaf maple, which that's another story from the field. We had to walk away
Yeah.
yesterday from it.
Oh,
Where at?
Where was it? It's off of 99.
Huh.
I don't know.
West Eugene.
Yeah, West Eugene. There you go. So there was a house fire. Part of the tree had burned. And big leaf maples, you know, typically have their fair share of cavities and defects going on.
yeah.
Nah, they're fine.
Yeah. We get to the job, kind of, you know, splayed out, so not like good tie-ins or anything. But I get to a comfortable tie-in and start working out the tree. And I don't know if you guys were working. It was yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
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 It
So
was- it was
we
rainy,
finished it
was
today.
windy.
But it was
Jamie got
rainy and
scared.
windy, but there were huge like gusts
Yep.
where we
Yeah.
were for sure.
100%. I was up a big old pin oak that had a horrible included crotch right at the base,
Yeah.
so I was feeling every one of them.
And I was sitting on the ground laughing at him.
Yeah. And what we were doing was pruning all the burned tree that was hanging over the house still. You know, just
Okay.
kind of removing that stuff, you know,
Yeah.
kind of mitigating that hazard or whatever. And I got one lead done. And then I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm feeling a little sketched out.
Yeah.
Get over to the other lead, start thinking of ways to like beef up my tie-in and like beef up the rigging to get it over there. And then I've just had this huge gust that just like, I was like, all right, you know what? Let's come back for this one.
Might not be the day for it.
Yeah. And I feel like that hasn't happened to me often or even ever where I'm like, all right, we can't do this one today because of weather. But I also grew up in in tree work, a more mild climate down in Ashland in Southern Oregon, where we would have rain days. We'd be like, it's raining. We don't really want to work. It doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
Hey, there's good news though. The weather's getting better. It's climate's not changing or anything. So.
Yeah. It's getting warmer.
It's getting warmer. It's getting warmer. So everything will be fine.
Yeah, and yesterday had some serious gusts.
Oh man,
you know, like where it would just hit out of nowhere.
Yep.
You know, so if you weren't ready for it, the kind of gust where you got to hold on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know,
and I kept feeling like as soon as I come down, it's just going to be like bright skies.
Well,
no
of course, that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Still a good decision.
Yeah.
100%.
It was
Yeah.
the right decision.
But we called off that one and then, called the office. We're like, where can we go next? And they sent us to a fir. So it's like a forested part, so you're fairly protected by the wind. The wind is still going on, but pretty protected. And it was a fir that had broken and was leaning into another fir.
And this was in an area where the landowners had made some trails and
Yeah.
they had logs lining the trails,
Yeah.
right, to kind of show people where to go.
Yeah, it's like they're doing like this, I don't want to say habitat restoration. I don't know what the
trying.
word is exactly, but they're restoring like the oak habitat
Sure.
that was there. It was like a hawthorn thicket, apparently.
I mean, there's
And-
nothing wrong with hawthorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
It's this HOA, and this couple just put tons of work into like restoring this thing and like building trails throughout there. It's pretty cool. They're
Sweet.
taking acorns from the trees and propagating them and sprouting new ones. It's
Oh, that's awesome.
kind of cool.
Fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, this fir was leaned up, just butt rot. I don't know what kind. But something's going on.
Not a good kind.
Yeah.
Trago boom kind.
Probably 60-foot fir.
Yeah, maybe a little taller.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
a little taller, hanging up in another really big fir. So climb that one.
Leaning on two limbs.
Yeah, leaning on two limbs. Took out the pieces above it until it was at that release point, where it's
Yeah.
hanging on that limb. And what I did was I faced it on the compression side.
Yeah.
So face it like kind of up and out toward the sky.
Like you were trying to fell it uphill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made sure I'm out of the way. If it wants to shift toward the trunk, it's not going to get me. Kind of like got that saw started in the back cut. And then, I mean, it went quick, but I feel like that was like the right cut to make to where
Totally.
it kind of like slows it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or a little more controlled. And then it came down. And the logs that they had on the trails acted like rollers.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was a muddy
Pretty steep
hillside.
hill.
Yeah, muddy, steep hillside. So we'd kind of like expected it to like slide a bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there was houses down there, and I was like, it'd be a miracle for it to get there because there's all this filberts and holly, just all this stuff in the way.
Yeah.
But it slid quite a ways, but it hit some hollies and stuff and stopped. But
Probably
there's
some
that moment
30,
you're like,
40 feet.
wow,
Here we go.
it's going.
Yeah. I like that cut, how you released it.
Yeah.
Because if you just undercut, then it can barber chair and you can get part of it that stays there and gets jammed up. And if you do like a snap cut where you just cut and then undercut, then it can kind of jam. And once it jams, it can rotate and pinch your saw a little bit. So, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll get the face cut almost facing me a little bit. That way, as it's releasing, the action's moving away from me.
you.
Just a
Nice.
little bit, not like fully sideways.
Yeah.
But just so it's kind of going down at an angle away from me. But I don't know. For some reason, I always feel badass when I do that because it's one of those things where you do all these steps and then there's one point where it all just releases perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
It was
And there's
funny
the
that
physics.
the
Yeah.
actual tree work took like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, once he
we
was
like-
in the tree.
it was a little tough to set our lines, and it's like dumping rain and really windy.
Yeah.
And the client was the kind of dude who like had his own hard hat and was like hanging out.
Oh, I love own
Perfect.
hard hat guy.
Brought his wife out.
Yeah. Make sure they're a safe distance, but they're there watching, and you're like
Yeah.
not hitting your shot, and you're like, this is making it so much worse that you're here right now. Get the hell out of here.
Well, and I love it when it's an old guy that has a hard hat that, like that thing hasn't been up to code in the last 30 years. You know?
It probably wasn't up to code when it was in service.
Exactly. It's like you're actually, if OSHA saw you on this site, I'd be in trouble right now, you know?
Yeah.
That's funny.
They were cool, and obviously they put a ton of work into that spot. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the wife said afterwards, she's like kind of anticlimactic, you know, because it took us a long time to set the lines, and then it's like it was like 3 cuts, I think, and then we're out of there.
Yeah. But that's how it works so fast because of all that time you put in prep, you know, like
engineering the situation.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The oak that I was in yesterday, I finished it today, and it was a crazy oak as far as half of it was dead and then half of it was just super extended. You know, and it's rainy, and you know, it wasn't that big of a tree. Like there's no reason. Well, we got a late start because we, you know, had maintenance and whatnot in the morning. We didn't have maintenance. It was Thursday, so we had meeting days. You know, so we had meetings in the morning, good old city work. And then we head out in the afternoon, and it's just, you know, blowing around and pissing rain. So what should have been like this quick climb was just like, you know, lanyarded in to move out this super slick pin oak branch. And it's like, God damn it, I got to go all the way fucking out there to get the, you know.
Dude, the slippery climbing is new to me too, you know, moving up here.
Yeah.
It's wild. And I've always been kind of a climber who climbs the ropes more than the trees. I think from working with you, I started implementing more of like climbing the trees.
Yeah.
Just from watching you. So there's a mix of both in there. But when it's slippery out, you're climbing the ropes, man. You're not climbing the trees.
You've got ice skates on.
Yeah.
It's just,
Well, it was interesting today when I was working on it. It wasn't nearly as bad as it was yesterday, but it was still super slick and super wet. So there was a point where I was limb walking out, and instead of walking on top of the branch, I just like I threw my lanyard way out the branch, hooked it back up to me, and then just lowered myself under it and just pulled myself out to the end of it. It was like, I want nothing
from
to
underneath.
do with, I don't want to be on top of this branch at all right now. I'm just going to pull myself out with the lanyard, make the couple deadwood cuts out here, and then just lower my, you know, which sounds crazy if it's, you know, if it's dry and you can just run out it real quick. But
Also, as a rock climber, that sounds ridiculous.
yeah, totally.
Aid climber.
Yep, but how much tree climbing have you done so far?
I've literally climbed 3 trees, maybe 4.
All right.
So not much.
Yeah. What are some of your takeaways as far as the difference between climbing the rock and climbing the tree?
It's slippery.
Yeah.
Welcome to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand it.
One thing I've heard people, rock climbers say in the past is that they feel super secure on a rock because it's solid. But in a tree, they get up into the tree and it starts moving around, and it's just like
dynamic.
every red flag in their mind is going off.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly different, I have to say.
Yeah.
I mean, the systems are slightly different, you know, but the
Yeah.
actual movement and the surfaces and all of those kinds of things, the mindset is very different, I would say.
Yeah. It's funny. Everybody always asks me like, oh, you must be a real good rock climber. And when I haven't done a whole lot, but, you know, gone to the gym a few times with friends and whatnot. And what my experience is, like the big muscle moves, you know, if I have a big handhold, I can do pretty good because that's what tree climbing is. You're getting these big handholds. But as soon as you're like getting these weird grips where you tuck your thumb on and then you reinforce this and you try to get it, you know, try to hug in as close as you can. And, you know, that stuff is where as soon as it gets to that point in the rock climbing,
Right.
I'm a beginner again.
The static strength
Exactly.
is not, and Michaela said it perfectly. Tree climbing is dynamic, everything about it.
Yeah. It's true.
You're throwing yourself, you're throwing your body, the tree's moving, there's ropes involved, you know.
I imagine that I call it kid climbing, when
Yeah.
you're like actually climbing the tree more than you're climbing your ropes.
Yeah.
And I imagine that would help out with rock climbing more because you're kind of using more of a range of muscles.
Yep.
It seems like to
More
tree climb.
stretching out and grabbing this over here.
Yeah, yeah.
The variety of the movement. Yep.
I remember like learning to climb and for some reason thinking I needed to just rope climb and my boss being like, no, like just kid climb. Like, you know, you can help yourself out so much if you just start kid climbing. And that really changing so much for me. If you can really use a combination, being comfortable on your ropes, but then still being like, oh yeah, I know how to do this,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just another tool in the toolbox. and really use
another
them
tool
all.
in the toolbox.
Were you using stationary rope technique then?
No, I learned to climb on double rope.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm learning moving rope as well.
nice. Moving rope. Is that what we're calling it
I
now?
don't know.
Yeah.
That's what Jamie tells me.
Yeah, I told
Yes.
Justin because we kept going. He was
Be
like,
proper.
double rope, moving rope, single rope, stationary rope.
Yeah.
You even said dynamic rope. And I'm like, wait. From now on, you and I, Justin, are stationary rope systems and moving rope
It
systems.
makes more
That's
sense.
it.
It does.
It cleans it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to change my language around that.
It's hard because I'll still say moving rope and then I'll clear it up with double rope,
Yeah.
Yep.
to most
Yep.
people. But I think it clears a lot of stuff up.
It
Yeah.
it's,
It does.
yeah.
Yeah, and once all of us are dead or retired, then
Yeah.
the new ones will.
Yeah.
They won't be confused anymore.
It makes total sense until you've got your stationary rope system, and then you put that pulley and the carabiner on it, or the pulley and the sender on it to have the triple rope system, or what do you guys call that? Corey?
Oh, like a 3-to-1 for a limb walk
Yeah, 3
Yes,
to 1
yes,
for, and
yeah.
then you got a moving rope
on your
on
stationary.
your
On your
stationary. But I fully agree with you. Yeah, there's stationary and there's moving rope, and that makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's a moving stationary rope at that point,
Yeah, exactly.
or a stationary moving rope.
It still would be a stationary rope because your system is just going
Yeah.
up and down the rope. It's not the rope's not moving through it. Right?
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of like double rope. If you call it double rope, you're still using one rope.
Yeah, but it's doubled over. So
No,
that's
no,
why
totally.
This
But-
is a fun
Yeah,
conversation.
totally.
This is why it's confusing and
This
it hasn't
is-
changed
This
yet.
is why I think MRS and SRS cleans it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Well, we were talking about this with Tom Dunlop,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, the one who changed it from DRT to DDRT.
yeah, he's
Doubled rope.
Yeah, doubled rope.
'Cause the rope's doubled over the limb,
Yeah,
not double rope, which means 2 ropes, which I think when we first started talking, you kind of had that thought that it was double rope because I had a climbing system and a lanyard or
The
something.
lanyard and
Yeah. Yeah, it's confusing.
Well, and was he saying that he was calling it doubled because people were actually climbing with 2 ropes and calling it double rope system?
It could be.
Yeah, or
referred to that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. So
I think moving rope, stationary rope, I think that's the way to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I think the
makes sense
industry.
to me too.
I think the profession agrees with you too.
Yeah. So, we're always trying to figure out the latest and greatest, and for now that's the latest and greatest, so we'll go with it. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys, we're about 45 minutes in, you want to take a beer break and then
Sure.
get back to it?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Let's go get some sodas.
All right, we're back. And while we were hanging out on the beer break, Jake was
He was fired up.
yeah, he was educating us on D-Rake. And did D-Rake drop a new album or something?
Oh man, he dropped it all right. He dropped a hot pile. But what did you guys think of my mom's hot dogs? I mean, they're
Delicious.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
She had like ketchup and mustard and relish and
Sauerkraut. That's an
Sauerkraut.
underused. That's an underused
All-
condiment. That's,
all anybody wanted was a big tub of Sweet Baby Ray's that she
Yeah.
had.
Well, and let me tell you, the chili on the chili dogs was next level.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And I asked for 2 hot dogs, but it was 2 in 1 bun, which I haven't seen before, like side by side.
Dang.
Yeah,
there's-
that-
a double
Speechless.
dog.
Speechless.
I'm sure there's.
Is that-
I'm sure there's a joke there.
yeah.
Is that
don't know what it is.
A double dog system?
Yeah.
or is it a doubled dog?
Doubled dog system.
DD.
Ooh.
A DD.
It's a DD.
HD.
DD.
It's a double dog.
DDHT.
Yeah, I'm just
HDD.
used to stationary single dog system.
Sure.
Well,
Man, it was delicious.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and my mom was like, Jamie always gives me makes my buns double up.
Well, and it seemed like she gave Jamie the premium dog and buns.
It did, and that was my argument. Like, why did Jamie get all the buns? And she's like, he gives me the dog all the time, like more dogs.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys weren't supposed to know it was the premium one. I tried to
Yeah.
hide it.
It was kind of hard. It was wrapped in gold foil, so
Yeah.
kind of hard to hide that.
and there's still some Beyond dogs left, and sausage dogs, but sorry, no regular hot dogs are left.
Yeah, no. I got my fill.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Mom, they're good.
So tell us about this album. I haven't heard it yet, so I need a little review of the D-Rake. What was it called again?
Oh man, so I guess this guy D-Rake came out with it. I first found out about this guy like a year ago or something. It's like when I first started listening to the pod, and I was like, oh cool, some guys like actually slinging some rhymes about raking. Like, this is what I'm all about. I love the beats of the rhymes of life. Love raking. And turns out he's talking about his feelings most of the time in a monotone flow that is like, oh, it's nice if you're like a therapist and you want to go to sleep. But anyway, I love his name, and I'm going to give his new album a shot. His new album is called Certified Lover Boy. And
D-Rake.
yeah, and I was
D-Rake.
like, I'm like a certified leafer boy, so I was like, I'll give it a try. Maybe there's some crossover here. Jesus. I listened to this album 3 times through, and it didn't get any better. You know, sometimes you listen to some music, listen to the pod like multiple times in a row, and I get more out of it each time. This album was kind of the opposite of that. So each time was more and more excruciating. And I don't mean to like bring everyone through this and rake them through the mud. But it's kind of like this guy D-Rake, you go this journey through his life, his mind, and his heart. And it's like this very familiar voyage of his older stuff that I got introduced to a year ago. And it just seems like he's like empty inside, and he doesn't know what he wants, and it seems like he's so famous that his soul is gone, and which is the exact opposite of the feeling that I get when I listen to the pod. Anyway, that's kind of a negative start. I'm not usually a negative person, but
Did you like his older stuff?
no.
No, yeah. Just
Yeah,
never.
yeah.
I liked his name. It's
The
what
name
I liked.
just
You know
hooked
what I
you.
mean?
Okay.
Well,
His name, and
okay.
I was like, I got all excited, and it's like this anticlimactic. Anyway, so I'm giving it a chance. I'm like, maybe there's more to it.
Okay.
So
and
within-
Jay-Z's on it.
With a name like D-Rake, did he get into mulching, or did he get into
Did he even mention
proper
a leaf?
raking etiquette,
No,
or
no leaf. No leaf on it?
Guys, it's Drake.
So one of the songs is way too sexy, which anybody that's ever picked up a rake and flung a big leaf maple leaf across a yard can relate to.
Yeah. Is he talking about the Razorback?
Well, you would like to think so. I mean, that's what I can relate to.
I think you might be queuing it up for us or something.
And he goes on like this. And the flow is what bothers me the most. It's just da-na-na-na-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And his voice is really annoying. And not just because he's Canadian. Like, most Canadians are very entertaining when they talk. This guy's from Toronto, and he pretends to be this like very cultured person that I am not good at talking trash. I'm sorry, you guys. It is I'm hard.
Oh,
I'm
this
having
is
a hard-
fire. This is fire.
He's a little stinker.
Oh man.
And I'll just give you this last one to write off with. I had a lot of notes for this album review, and I think it just speaks for itself. we'll do one more.
I feel like that flow and that cadence was like made popular like a couple years ago, and it's just stuck. And I think it's like enough already.
Yeah.
it just
like
so
it's seriously the da 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 da.
Yeah, Notorious B.I.G. Grazy. Jay-Z. Grazy is my cat's name. Jay-Z. Like they have fun. Like their voice is interesting. Everybody from Wu-Tang and Tupac, their voices are really unique. Drake is just like so weak. His voice is annoying even. Like at this point where it holds there's no feeling there. I don't know how else to put it. Michaela, you got anything about his voice you could add?
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, no.
Yeah, what do you have to add about Drake?
From what you've heard, all right, here's his last one, and this is probably the most ridiculous one of all and shows how shallow he is.
So does he write his own lyrics? Because that was inspiring.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope nobody else can be responsible for this besides D-Rake. Because I don't know if he like declares himself as a lesbian. He's like a clever little boy at sleepaway camp who's like, girls want girls. Yeah, me too. Like it doesn't make.
I'm trying to imagine him like, where was he when he sat down and wrote that lyric? You know.
He was having some champagne poetry.
It was definitely chemically assisted in some.
So no rakes mentioned
I
at all.
didn't hear one freaking rake.
No
Not
rake,
even-
no
No
mulch,
reference.
no leaf.
No idea how sexy they are.
A nod
Yeah.
to the art, to the craft. Nothing.
How can you call yourself? I can understand why you'd be so just pissed off when you've dedicated your life to the art of raking, and then this guy comes and takes a name like D-Rake, like he's D-Rake.
That's exactly.
And then he comes with
Andrew.
that.
I'm kind of like, I was lifted up, and I'm like, okay, a modern times inspirational theme song. I can get behind this.
Yeah.
Like the Bean Pod is great for me to listen to and rake to. And you got that sick beat at the beginning, but then there's like, then it's just your melodic, beautiful voices after that, which is great and meditative for me. But then kind of sometimes I want some music. And I'm like, okay, this is my savior, this D-Rake guy.
Yeah.
And then I just got dropped from a very high place.
So I guess my question is, what do you do about it? Like, I mean, we've got other beats. If you need to set the record straight.
D-Rake, we know.
Really?
D-Rake.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Jake the
kind of,
Rake.
I'm a little worked up. I mean, I have some stuff to get off my chest. Do you have a beat? I think I can do it to this guy.
Yeah.
And show him who's the rakiest.
Yeah. No, we can do this. We got your back.
Really? Do you have one of your OG beats?
Oh,
Ooh. Oh, snap. All right, I'm feeling this. It's nice. Okay. Oh, man. Yo, D-Rake. Probably got some things to say to you. I guess they call you the champagne poppy. Compared to my cleanup game, your flow is sloppy. Maybe lay off the bubbles and have some coffee, cause my mom's 88 Taurus wagon is making your Maybach look like a jalopy.
Oh.
You're a soft one, Drake, next to Jake the Rake. Use a soft one, Drake, next to Jake the Rake. Yeah. Yo. I'm not a preppy, but I am a prepper. Jamie knows my mom's basement is spicy. She has stores of pepper. Black and white in corn and powder foreign. Bring your COVID mask and something warm, cause the underground bunker has storage space. That's where I keep my extra rakes. what you need. We got grips and grips of clips and clips of bananas and sticks. A whole shelf of wing nuts, tighten heads on fast like Andrew's beats be burning your butts. Oh yeah, Jamie's been down there. He knows what's up. He's even got his own name on his special cup.
Yeah.
He helped build the bunker from the very beginning. That's why my mom made him a stocking to hang right after Thanksgiving. Yeah, 'cause down there, you'll be in a cold sweat. After mom's jalapenos and her habaneros, grab a towel, here comes the serranos. She got Anaheims and Shisa shishitos. Some cayenne and the ghost peppers got you rolling down the windows, goose bumping and shaking down to your toes. You're crying for some milk like a little bambino, but all you getting is a raw powder poblano. No chiller, Riano, there's a fryer down here, and all I got is a straw and some skunky beer. All my mom's offerings put aside, there's no place for you to hide. So if you're a bear or you're a racist, all we got is pepper spray for your ugly ass faces. No. Throw 'em down the rope ladder, Andrew. Yeah. Use a soft one, Drake, next to Jake the Rake. Use a soft one, Drake, next to Jake the Rake. You got a nice all-state red polo shirt, Drake. You're far from heady. I wear the tie-dye when I rake, so you better be ready. You're the weakest dude in rap right now, D-Rake.
Oh, damn.
You ain't got nothing. I'm so uninspired. You have modern-day Vanilla Ice. Yo, sitting on the Toronto Raptors sideline, cheerleading because you ain't got no game. Doing all-state commercials and shit. Jake will never sell out. Neither will the tree-thinking peeps. Yo, raking you up. We're gonna rake you up like some old pine needles that be all stuck together and shit. This is too easy for me, D-Rake. You better change your name or me and the tree-thinking peeps. We gotta clean all you up after all this hot garbage you spewing. Get off this track.
Damn.
Holy shit. All right, now Corey, you said you had some rhymes. What do you got?
I'm speechless after that.
Well, you know Drake's going to reach out to us.
Yeah.
You better not.
I'm kind of worried about putting this out there. I mean, the beef that we could start from Eugene to T-Dot.
I think you will. How could you sit by and let, like, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was just like,
Maybe
oh
he's just
God,
owned.
I'm so
Yeah.
no.
He's just done.
Yeah, he might put down the rake he never picked up.
Hopefully he changes his name.
Yeah.
I think that was the goal.
Yeah. Just quit misrepresenting people who are really enthusiastic about raking.
Yeah, respect the game.
Yeah.
Respect the game.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he'll, like, kind of change his name a little bit to, like, Drake. Or, you know, something other than...
that would be better.
Yeah, something
would be
other
better.
than
Yeah.
D-Rake.
I could get on board with that. Like, just combine it and call it a day.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, I'll bet he does after he hears that. It's not worth trying to keep the name D-Rake.
Yeah.
You know, when, like, there's a simple solution. Just go by Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
You
what
know.
if I have a young apprentice come up? It hasn't happened yet, but what if somebody's name starts with a D and they want to get into raking? Like, it's just a rap name waiting to happen.
No. Man.
That was fire, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for spitting.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for allowing me to be in
Yeah.
this safe space. I feel like I'm in the nest here.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you got it off your chest.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, I hope you can head out tomorrow to your next raking project and, you know, kind of find some peace in the raking and not be, not have it be a constant reminder of this guy that was taking your industry and misrepresenting it.
So what I'm hearing is there's a contract raking job from somebody tomorrow. Somebody need a hand?
Sure.
I always got help, like for your talents. I always got a need for that
Really?
help.
What kind of
Yeah.
job we doing tomorrow?
Well, we got. Let's see. I got a couple jobs. One's more of an ornamental pruning, so it's not even going to be like a big raking job. You know, just like little
Well, I have my
dogwood
leaf
and-
rake hands. I
Yeah.
have my leaf hand.
Yeah,
rakes
no, I'll
do.
take it. I mean,
Perfect.
you know, no job too big or too small, and and this time of year, I mean, how could you? I'd imagine you're pretty busy right now.
Yo, it's
Like,
coming down.
yeah. And the big drop is in process.
for sure.
Nice.
Oh, Big Rob.
Big Rob's here. Big Rob's in the house.
Oh, hey, my mom needs me for cleanup. I'm gonna hand this over.
All right, dude. Your flow is fire.
Yeah.
Andrew, your beats slap.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Drake's done.
Yeah.
D-Rake.
D-Rake.
Done.
Yeah. Oh. Nice. So, I don't even know where to go from there.
Probably round it out somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
How are we going to bring this home?
Yeah. Well,
We might have a lawsuit on our hands from
yeah.
copyright
It
infringement.
probably won't be on YouTube very long, but you know,
This is nice while it lasted.
yeah, they can bleed the rock if they want to. How's it going, Rob?
Oh, doing real good. It's another beautiful rainy day.
Yeah, heck yeah, man, heck yeah. Yeah, what you got? We're probably gonna wrap it up here
Yeah.
pretty soon,
Oh,
but
cool.
before we do, you got any stories or anything you want to share? And it's been a little while since you've been on the old pod.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I just moved to a place that has a bunch of old growth trees, so I'm super excited and
Oh, sick.
can't wait to do some climbing and get back into the woods.
Nice. Yeah, I could see some a future tree thinking hangout in the woods there.
Most definitely. I plan on building some pretty awesome space where we could probably do one up in the canopy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Ewok Village.
Oh yeah, there'll be
Nice.
some bridges and all kinds of fun stuff.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, you got any flows you want to spit?
That's
Oh.
another thing I did recently. We're probably trying to wrap it up.
Were you guys rapping?
Well, yeah. You
I
just
missed
missed. You just missed D-Rake.
Oh, Grits is
Oh,
here.
Nice. Nice.
These special guests.
Yeah.
So many special guests.
The party's getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think that I'm feeling pretty mellow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've got the energy for a rap right now.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll catch you later.
Nice.
Sometime we'll have to do a tree thinking cipher.
You know I'm down most of the time.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right on. Well, anybody have any final thoughts on the random show we've just done?
No, I mean, I'm sure we'll all find out soon if D-Rake changes his name and maybe we hear about some rapper named Drake or something.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully we're still around and aren't sued.
Yeah.
Sued into oblivion.
Oh no.
If this is the last tree thinking episode, I mean, it's been great.
Yeah. Cat chewing on the cord. Yep. Sweet. Well, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Michaela, any final thoughts on anything?
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll be listening to Drake anymore. I think I'm gonna stick to some Carole King and Jewel for now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
That's more my jam.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Corey?
I'm still speechless from that rap.
Yeah.
Floored,
Yeah.
just floored.
Yeah, I think we're all in that
Yeah.
same place of shock. I didn't know Jake had it in him. I'm a little worried Drake might come back at us. I don't really know where to go from here. So
I'm worried how much he knows about my relationship with his mom.
yeah,
Shit.
I think we all know now.
Writings on the wall, as it were.
Yeah.
Sweetie!
With that, I'll say stay safe and go easy, Drake. Yeah, there could be a little bit of editing in that one.